Hey guys, so we're going to be talking about different types of peer pressure and then understanding how goal setting and inhibitory control strategies can really help out with avoiding the negative effects of peer pressure. Peer pressure is almost a rite of passage. It's something everyone experiences in different levels, and it happens throughout life. It just feels more impactful when you're a young adult, teenager, and student, because you are around a lot of others and you're in a period of trying to figure out who you want to be, and so you do things that others do. There is direct peer pressure and indirect peer pressure. With direct peer pressure, this is when someone literally says, do this. It is that pressure in the moment where someone is asking you to do something that maybe you don't want to do or you have doubts about doing. Indirect peer pressure is more about the desire to fit in. And so this desire to fit in, it's not someone that's specifically telling you to do something, but it's thinking that you have to do something in order to fit in. Let's first talk about goal setting. When you're coming into yourself, when you're in your school years, when you're a teenager, when you're going into young adulthood, you're still trying to figure out who you want to be. And a lot of this is about values. What are your values? What type of person do you want to be? And while you're figuring this out, it's very hard to be confident about yourself. It's very hard to know what to do or what not to do. So one of the things I really encourage, whether you are a young adult teenager yourself or you're a parent of someone going through peer pressure, is to have conversations around this. This isn't to say you're going to figure out who you want to be, but to at least start the dialogue to explore, like, who do we want to be? Do we want to be that type of person? Let's think about ourselves in the future. And again, you're not trying to actually set who you are, but you're at least exploring those conversations. Now, I do want to be clear. It's harder to do SMART goals with this because values aren't really measurable. But by starting the dialogue, you can then compare, is this who you want to be? Is this who you want to be? And you can reflect on different circumstances that lead to peer pressure or results of experiencing peer pressure. And so inhibitory controls is a big thing that impacts people with ADHD and other learning differences. But really, teenagers in general, their inhibitory controls aren't fully developed because their prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed yet. That comes when you're in your mid-20s. So with inhibitory controls, it really is acting without thinking. It's not being able to limit a response and really have that time and space to think. One of my tips that I share over is try to come up with certain phrases that can help you avoid that pressure into doing something. And so what this can really look like is, I'll pass. I don't think I'm interested in this right now. Or, no, that makes me feel a little uncomfortable. I don't want to do it. Or let someone else go. I'm not in the mood. All of these things help deflect it. And what's really important is if you practice having these phrases in your arsenal, then when you are struggling with inhibitory controls, you already have something that's accessible. Doesn't mean it's easy, but at least it's helping set you up to be able to pass on that opportunity. And if you are practicing this, what you can do is really play out some perspective taking and role playing of what might that lead to. Now, the next area is for indirect. Now, with indirect, this is providing an opportunity for you to be able to think. So what I always try to share over, especially if you've been encountering peer pressure, is to start practicing this aspect of stop, wait, think, then respond. Now, this is building in time for you to really think about, if I do this, what will it lead to? That way you can have more ownership of what those outcomes are. So peer pressure is a form of a rite of passage. And it's hard to avoid it because often when you're in your younger years, you just want to fit in. But By starting to have conversations about who you want to be and starting to build out strategies to avoid peer pressure in a way that doesn't make you feel like you're going to be thought of as different or thought of as weird, then you can start to build up your confidence to carve out who you are as opposed to who other people may be setting for you. So again, thank you for listening, and I hope everyone has a great day.